Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, May 17th. It's probably day number 420. Oh, 420. Probably day number 420 of this never-ending pandemic in New York. Brief video this morning. Talk about some developments that I came across over the weekend, which are very weird. So, there is a holistic practitioner online. I think his name is Joseph, Dr. Mercola. Really, popular guy, popular holistic nutritionist, believes more obviously in, natural health, things like that. So he has been adamant, during this whole pandemic silliness about, that you don't need to take this medication, healthier lifestyle, organic holistic remedies, I don't know, maybe like more vitamin C, more vitamin D and everything, and you can buy the supplements on his website. So, he's a full-service health practitioner, doctor, has a natural product line, all good stuff, right? So, obviously, COVID has been a very weird thing. In my opinion, this is a whole scandemic nonsense. So, you guys and girls out there in the internet know my position already, and if you don't, then you just, I don't know, then maybe I'm not speaking loud enough. But, I'm really against this whole thing. I'm against, obviously, government, regulation like this, restrictions. I am also against, generally, and I'm not anti-drug, but what I find frustrating is that people will just rely too heavily on medication and ignore, simple things in life that they can use to better their health, right? So, for instance, like, people love cholesterol medication, but don't want to cut out, like, lots of red meat in their diet, lots of, maybe eggs. And I love eggs, don't get me wrong, big fan of them. But I'm just saying, like, certain things that you should cut out of your diet if you realize you have some kind of medical issues or whatever the case is, right? People would rather take the medicine, which is a problem. So, that's one thing, right? So, during 2020, I'm convinced that reality is being rearranged before your very eyes. Blue is green, green is blue, up is down, down is up, 2 + 2 is 5. 2020 has been a psychotic time of year. Recently, and the reason why I mentioned Dr. McCall in this video, so recently the FDA, which is the enforcement body of the federal government, because in my opinion, from my previous experiences, the FDA and the EPA, these two are some of the most politically charged organizations, entities within the federal government, and they are completely politically driven. There is no common sense or rationale behind it. Contrary to what they state, there is not a single thing they're looking to protect the country on or protect civilians on. No, they're two disgusting politically charged entities that the federal government uses to just impose their will on people. So this year, Mercola was given a warning letter for his claims about vitamin C and vitamin D. Mercola, obviously, and your whole life you've known vitamin C is for immunity. You go to vitamin shop, you purchase a bottle of vitamin C. It says on there immunity. Oranges, immunity. You know this for your entire life. You've known this as a kid growing up. You've known this as an adult. Your parents know it. Your parents knew this. Everybody knows this has been common knowledge. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is good for recovery, good for immunity, good for testosterone, good for hormone levels. Vitamin D has a laundry list of benefits. Vitamin D, laundry list. And it's been proven over and over and over again with studies, over again. Suddenly, because those products are natural and they take away from big pharma, the federal government has to stop it. The federal government, because the big pharma says, hey, we're going to give you a billion, whatever. We're going to give you 1 billion transactions for the COVID vaccine, for your medication. Big Pharma stepped up to the plate. Now the federal government's got to make sure they get their money. So what happens? Mercola says, hey, this vitamin D, vitamin C is good for immunity. And next thing you know, here comes a warning letter from the FDA. Now, this weekend, I read something about N-Acetyl Cysteine, also now being sold as a prescription according to the FDA, because the FDA just basically put that on like a controlled substance list, N-Acetyl Cysteine, and now which was and as as a bodybuilder, okay, as a bodybuilder, I'm not against drugs. As a bodybuilder and as a competitive athlete, with powerlifting and stuff, I am a huge, I was a huge fan of NAC and acetyl cysteine. Why? Because it was proven over and over again in studies to be directly contributed to liver health. As someone who was not, obviously taking the best precautions for his health, I engage in risky things. And acetylcysteine has directly benefited me a million times over. And not only me, but millions of others that use it. It's a naturally occurring. So L-cysteine is an amino acid in your body. And acetylcysteine is the supplement, the synthetic form, supplement form. And now it's a prescription medication because there's research that shows that N-acetylcysteine can reduce the effects of COVID. There's research that vitamin D could reduce the effects of COVID. So now the FDA, because guided by the government overlords in this country, must go after these companies that sell this stuff. You got to make N-acetylcysteine prescription. Like, what the hell is wrong? What is going on? Like, so it's extremely frustrating that life before me is being rewritten. Your reality is being rewritten, and it's just clear as day in front of your face, and it's extremely frustrating. And I'm like, as someone who has fought the FDA many times, because I'm in the supplement industry, many times, I cannot tell you how many times we've gone to war over products that are completely benign and do nothing. For whatever reason, they're not, generally regarded as safe. They're not like grass products. And I've gone to war numerous times with them. And every single time it's the same thing. They cite to nothing. There's no research. They say they can't research it because, there's nothing, there's no time. But in an emergency situation, you got to do this because it's not generally regarded as safe. And they're so full of crap, the FDA. So full of crap. I don't know what's worse, them or the EPA. But the moral of the story is the FDA is full of garbage. Life is actively rewriting they're actively rewriting life in front of your eyes. We live in 1984. It's not even a joke. And quite frankly, also, if you get into any issues with the FDA, I mean, certainly get on my radar, because these guys are savages. These guys and girls are disgusting savages. This is a politically charged agency that just essentially, whatever the will of their government overlords, whoever the president or whoever puts in power, whoever they place as the director of the FDA is the one that sits there and just wields the sword for the federal government against people that they find to be against the narrative that they want to produce. So that's my rant for today. Screw the FDA. It is never about your health in the FDA. It will never be about your health. It was never about your health. It was always about just protecting their buddies who donate money to their political campaign machines. That is it. Screw the FDA. Keep living the dream. Yours in love, lift, and law, everything. Have a good day, everybody. Peace.